Drip Squad, what it do?
It's your girl Kay.
And it's your boy Kim. And we're back with another video.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
Alright, so guys, this is part 2 of our video.
That's right, day 16 of Vlogtober. I am getting a little excited.
Excited.
That means we have crossed the halfway mark of Vlogtober.
Yes. So guys, today is another story time.
Yes, we captured yesterday about, how we first met and everything.
Notice how we're in the same clothing again.
We want to keep it same all the time with you guys.
Every day.
We want to keep it real.
Regular, degular, smegular, all the time.
Anyway.
No, guys, but today we're doing a story time on how we met each other's parents. And what was our first impression of them.
Yeah.
So, how do I start this? Okay, so if y'all haven't seen how we met, go back and watch that, guys.
You have to. You
have to watch that because then you'll know how this story falls in place with how we met.
Yeah.
So, how we
first
met each other's parents.
Yeah.
All right.
That was something.
Cam met my parents first because, one, I'm a woman, and my mom and dad did not play that. They weren't letting me go anywhere if they didn't know a person or any of my friends. So, how he ended up meeting my parents, and you met my mom first because
your mom first.
I introduced him to my mom first. We were at church, and this was the time we were just meeting up. So my parents didn't know
me.
They didn't know him. They didn't know anything about him because, one, I kept it kind of secret, which is a bad idea for if it's a creep or a stalker. Yeah, so we were at church, and my mom, I sat with my friends whenever we would go to church. Cam comes to meet at church on Wednesday, and as we're, once service is over with, my mom walks up, hey, I'm about to go get your brother, So she goes and gets my brother. Cam walks up, and we're talking or whatever. So my mom comes back, but she doesn't have my brother. So I was like, hey, Mom, I want to introduce you to someone. And I introduced her to Cam and told her who he was. We were still just friends at the time. We weren't together. And I made sure that we were just friends. So I explained to her who he was, and she was like, oh, hey Cam, really? She's like, oh, okay, well, it's nice to meet you, Cam. I love to see more of you, just different things. She just being a mom. And of course, she was talking to my other friends too. So, fast forward to how he ended up at our house.
Boy.
So, this time, my mom and my dad were at church. So, you remember that? You remember my mom and dad being at church?
Yeah.
That week, that Wednesday?
Yeah.
So, it was like 2-3 Wednesdays later, Cam came and met me at church. My dad met him at church. I introduced him, and he was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to eat. But my mom had already cooked at the house, so we're about to go eat. My dad invited him and was like, Cam, would you like to come over? And my dad, he was so, I was skeptical about even, introducing Cam to him because I didn't know, I was still young, so I didn't know how my dad was going to react. You know how dads are, oh, she can't date until she's 30. So I was like, I didn't know how he would react.
Yeah, he knew I had the Son of God in my heart, so he was very kind.
That don't look right on the camera. Yeah.
I'm twiddling my thumbs, guys. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm antsy right now.
So
Bad,
he
but-
invited Cam to come eat with dinner with us, of course. And when they left, the crazy thing is my dad was like, Karina, you can ride with Cameron if you like. So I was like, oh my God, he's approving. Car, you remember my brother and his friends were making fun of your car because they didn't have cars, of course, because they were still little, and they were like, oh, why Cam coming over here with that car? And but Cam was just tricking it along. He was happy. He got him a vehicle. He ain't tripping. And I wasn't tripping either because you got your vehicle.
Yeah. You didn't specify in your list what kind of vehicle. I
didn't, but now listen. You can't be rusty dusty no more because you got money now. So it's not, But anyway, let's fast forward to when we got to the house. So we got to the house. My mom was making plates. We all sat down and ate dinner at the table. Yeah, we did. It was shit. Her mom makes some good food. Bruh. Still to this day. Bruh. It's Lord, Mama, I love you because you can cook. Yeah. But so we get to the house. Mm-hmm. We all talked. Of course, my dad didn't do a lecture, but he did ask Cam a lot of questions. My mom, she asked him a lot of questions. Yeah. But it wasn't on no weird type thing to make him feel uncomfortable. It wasn't an interrogation. Right? It was more like, just wanted to know where I was, who I was and stuff like that. Who I am. This was, not to cut you off, but this was around November or December? It was around November, December. This was before Thanksgiving. Well, well, it was during the time y'all invited me to y'all Thanksgiving too. Okay, yeah. Because I was going to say, normally if it was around November, it was probably a day when my mom had leftovers. Yeah, she invited me over. But she had cooked the whole meal before she went to church. Yeah. That Wednesday, I remember that. So yeah, he came over. We all ate dinner. My dad didn't lecture him, but he did talk to Cam, see where his head was. My mom, she asked a million questions. She asked a million and one. Yeah. It was all good. I stood tall. I stood up. I made sure I knew what I was talking about, and I made sure I knew what I wanted. The funny thing is, that day is the day that I found out Cam likes grape juice or grape soda. Yeah. My dad loves grape juice or grape soda. Yeah. So, that was the day I found out that him and my dad had a little connection. With girls, you normally, if you have your dad in your life, you always tend to have your significant other is something like your dad. Right. Yeah. And so that I was like, oh, yeah, he might be the one because he like grape soda like my dad. Yeah. And he loves snacks. Bro, yeah. So this man could eat some snacks. When my dad and her dad grew up in 5th Ward. So I was like, oh, dope. So you might know my dad. So a little common interest there between them. We were just growing a connection. He just wanted to know what was my purpose with Karina. And honestly, I told him, a lot of things about myself, what I like, what I wish I would able to do, and things like that. So, and even told him about the military thing, because the military thing, I was going to the Navy. I was signing up at that time too. Yes. So that is another story time. That is definitely got to be a story time, because that story time was something that defined our relationship. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you met my mom and dad. I think they came to your house to visit. Not the first time. Not the first time. The first time she came over. Now we can fast forward. Okay, so just a fun fact: in December. In this whole year, we've been talking for about a good 3 months, right? Yeah. So in December, he was coming for Thanksgiving. He came for Thanksgiving. Then he came for December for Christmas. Yeah. So during Christmas time, we had already made it official. Yeah, they didn't know though. Yeah,
No
my
one else
parents
knew.
didn't know. His parents didn't know. We had made it official. Like, we were like, yeah, we're boyfriend and girlfriend now.
This my boo.
Yeah. So we were, every week, Cam was at the house. Every week. Every Wednesday, every Saturday, and
yeah.
Sunday, Cam was at my house. Like, that's just because your sister got it like that. Because, you know.
What you mean?
No, I'm just messing with y'all.
Ew.
So, not like that, no. Because we didn't even, no. We didn't even have a kiss. Like, we weren't kissing. Like, come on now. We were friends, but we were also, like, boyfriend and girlfriend.
We went
But
on
we were
dates
all,
and
like,
stuff.
we went to dates, and we were, having fun together. But it wasn't on no, oh, let me kiss you. Because we didn't even kiss, like, that first month.
We didn't even
No,
kiss.
we didn't even kiss that first month. Okay, anyway. So how I met his parents was they invited my family to come and eat dinner
Mm-hmm.
for Christmas.
Yep.
So, we get there. My parents and his parents instantly just started talking, you know,
Yeah, Mom.
asking questions,
Yeah,
you
one
know,
day.
the normal stuff
Yeah.
parents do.
Yeah, all that. When my dad found out that he grew up in the same
area.
they instantly was
And
just
my
like,
dad knows doggone everybody. Like, literally everybody. So, when he seen him, he was like, he looks familiar. And then they started talking. He was like, oh, I do know you, you know. And they families have been around each other,
yeah,
too.
family's been around each other.
And the crazy thing is, like, wherever we would move, Cam would be in that same area. But we never ran into each other when we were younger. So we found that out too. So then, you know, like the first impression of his parents, I was like, oh, they cool. Like, we hadn't met each other. I hadn't met his parents in the whole time we were talking.
Right.
I've heard of them, you know, he talked about them, but we never like,
Made it official.
yeah, we never like talked like that. So, you know, like, when I seen him, you know, of course it was my first time meeting him, so I was like, oh, I'm excited because it's his parents. And if they're anything like Cam, or if Cam's anything like them, then I'm going to, of course, vibe with them.
Of course, that happened.
Of course it happened.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your mom thought of me when she first met me.
I'd be like any other woman. What you doing with my baby? My
But she
mom
already
protected,
seen what
yeah.
kind of character I had, so she was like,
Yeah.
she trusts him.
Yeah.
And, you know, she trusts me with you. So, and of course my dad had already instilled that trust with me.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like,
It was mutual.
good.
It was mutual.
yeah, that's how we met each other's parents.
Wrist, team, boat, team, wrist.